cinnamon raisin swirl bread. You see that? Since nobody got us pizza or grinders, we're kind of at the point where, when we get to this point, it seems most months we have to make do. So we got some raisins from the place we go. We try to go every week to get some food. They usually give us quite a bit, but it goes pretty fast. There are two hungry adults here eating. Can you imagine if we were two hungry teenagers? There wouldn't be anything in this house. There's no food. I remember when I was a kid, I ate and I ate. Anyway, so I'll share the recipe with you. I made the recipe makes 2 loaves, so it's good. I like it. It wasn't difficult to make at all. But it had to rise for an hour, then rise for half an hour, and that was fine. If you notice, the countertop is mostly cleared off, and those dishes, I don't know if you can see it right there, that pile of dishes, they're clean. There's a little bit in the sink that needs to be washed, but just a little bit. So this is a good bread. It's sufficiently firm. It doesn't fall apart, which is really nice. I don't like bread that's so soft that when you try to cut it, it just mashes up. I like a bread that's a little firmer but still soft, and that's what this bread is. The raisins, I forget, I think it was a cup of raisins, cinnamon sugar, yeast. I'd buy jars of yeast because I use so much of it, although I haven't baked in quite a while. So I still have about half of a jar plus an unopened jar. I keep my yeast in the freezer, the open jar and the unopened jar. It keeps a lot better that way. It's probably not quite as good as if I used it when it was fresher, I guess you would say, or if I used it, if I refrigerated it instead of froze it. But I freeze it and it works fine. This particular recipe, I put some sugar and honey in the hot water with the yeast. And I think it came out to 4.5 teaspoons of yeast. And hey Maggie, he says Daddy. But it came out good. And now my thing about raisins, this may sound odd, but I'm not a big raisin fan. But on the other hand, I like raisins when they're mixed in with like a cinnamon raisin bread, or now I can't remember the name of that candy bar. Oh geez, I love it. I love it. It was for years I couldn't find one, and I can't remember the name of it. It has raisins and I think may have nuts in it, and it comes in a square, and I really like those. Those are really good. And for the cinnamon sugar, I just used sugar and cinnamon. And now this is what I did. I put the cinnamon sugar. It says to put it to like 1 inch or 2 inches to the edge. I put it all over it, and then I sprinkled the top and a little bit of the sides with some of that cinnamon sugar. Perfect. So the second kneading, the time when you knead it, After it rises for an hour, you punch it down, add the raisins, and kind of knead the raisins in, or mix the raisins in as you're kneading. I forgot to do that, and so I kneaded one loaf a whole lot more than I should have because I was kneading it, and I forgot to put in the raisins. Then I had to stop, get the raisins, and put them in there. And it's I think half a cup per loaf, so it's 1 cup. So I just estimated. I just kind of got a cup of raisins, put my hand in there, and threw it in the mixing bowl that I was using. So I hope you like. I enjoyed it. It's very good. This is still warm. There's as you can see, there's another loaf sitting right there. But it's still cooling because, like I said, this is still warm. If you could touch this, it would still be warm. So I've had 2 slices, and it's very good. So I want to thank the people over at Taste of Home. They always have good food. I used to watch their show on the TV on I think the PBS channel, and I will share a link to the recipe for you. And thank you, and have a great day.